All right. When I when I first heard about this case, I was like, "Huh." He went on a trip with some friends. You feel me? And they came back, but he didn't. And I believe that they had his phone too, but he he just wasn't with his phone.
Oh!
Now, y'all stay to the end of this video. I'm gonna give you guys my full transparent opinion on this case. But for now, you guys stick around for the whole video. Don't forget to like and comment your opinions on this case. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the crew. You already know what to do, baby boo. Shoo. Ooh! I know you guys have heard about this case. If you haven't, it's a crazy one. So get your popcorn, get your chips, strap yourself in. This is going to be a juicy one, most likely. Mystery video in Nolan Wells' death investigation. Let's get right into it.
This does not smell right. One of them is telling the truth. One of them is not.
We just want to know what happened and why our baby didn't come home.
Reverend Al Sharpton and attorney Ben Crump standing with the family of Nolan Wells today, demanding a full investigation into the death of the 18-year-old college football player whose body was found on Mississippi's Horn Island. As the family awaits the results of an independent autopsy, new questions are being raised about what really happened to Nolan Wells. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Damn.
Big update in the Nolan Wells story. This is something we've been following. There is a major press conference that was just held. And this is the story of that 18-year-old Southwest Mississippi Community College football player, graduate of Ocean Springs High, who disappeared while boating with friends on Horn Island. This is right off the coast of Mississippi. It's back on the July 4th weekend. We know that his body was tragically found that Monday on the island, washed ashore. His family is demanding transparency. They're demanding a full investigation. In fact, Christine and Elm...
Really quick, I also want to just interject this. You know, guys, if you guys never been to Mississippi, I have family in Mississippi, okay? My family grew up and raised in Mississippi, okay? I wasn't, okay? My immediate family, they moved to California, and they raised me and my brothers out in California. But if it wasn't for my immediate family, my ass would have been born in, Mississippi and raised in there. Okay, so anywho, the reason why I'm saying all that is to say I know what Mississippi is, and it's a different type of place, y'all. If y'all haven't been there, like Mississippi's country as hell. It's the South. You feel me? You get a lot of like the older white people there. I gotta keep it a buck. They're racist as fuck. All right, they're racist as hell. The older generation of white people there, racist as fuck. All right. So when you're dealing with even where this case happened, I'm trying to keep it clean here, but it's just like he's a black guy hanging out with a whole bunch of white people in Mississippi, damn near. Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster, if I'm being honest.
Moore Wansley told Good Morning America, GMA, in an interview today, we just want honesty and transparency. We want a thorough investigation. We want that same respect that would be given to anybody else, and that's it. We just want answers. And they have even retained prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump. We did a sidebar yesterday explaining why they would want to hire a lawyer at this time. It's about ensuring that they get the information they're seeking, potentially assessing a legal issue for a lawsuit, pressuring authorities to be transparent about the investigation, ordering an independent autopsy. In fact, Ben Crump told ABC News Live this week that Nolan's body would be flown to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy. This came after the Mississippi State Medical Examiner already apparently performed an autopsy, but that agency indicated that the results could take weeks. because of toxicology tests. Those findings are pending. Now, there is something to keep in mind here. Authorities reportedly believe this was a tragic accident, that this was a case of drowning. According to the New York Post, John Ledbetter, the Jackson County Sheriff, said there's no information that we have right now that would lead us to believe that a crime has occurred. According to CNN, Jackson County Coroner Bruce Lynn indicated there were no immediate signs of physical injury. But this is a story that has gotten a lot of attention. It has sparked many thoughts.
What do y'all think? Okay, I know I'm making faces in this video. But I've heard some things specifically on TikTok of what the story is. And I want to point it out before we even get even further into this video. As soon as the boys came back from that trip and people were asking, yo, where's Nolan? Where's the black guy, right? They said, I don't know. Like, they played stupid. I don't know, right? And then on top of that, they lawyered up right away. Oh! It's like they already knew something. They already knew, like, they already knew something was up, okay? So, that being said, guys, I don't believe that it was just an accident. I'm going to state that there. I'm going to state my full opinion at the end of the video, but I don't think it was an accident based off of how their reaction was when they found out Nolan was missing. They were like, I don't know what happened to him. Yeah. Right? And lawyered up at the same time. Kind of sus to me.
Thoughts, many theories, particularly given what we're learning. For instance, according to CNN, Nolan didn't return to the dock with his friends that day. His family didn't understand why he would separate from them, that he was supposed to take a different boat back but didn't, that Nolan apparently didn't have his cell phone with him, that there were reports of an alleged altercation that day. We know the Jackson County Sheriff's Office is reportedly still investigating.
Building something great takes more work than anyone
There was an
realizes.
altercation, y'all.
Writing the code.
All of this. But according to the sheriff, one of Nolan's friends contacted the Coast Guard on the night of July 4th at around 11 p.m. Nolan's mom apparently called the sheriff's office leading into July 5th. And the family has concerns about, for example, why Nolan would stay without friends. Christine telling GMA, quote, that we cannot answer. I can't fathom why he would. Elmore saying, we always told him, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. There's also this. Christine apparently told GMA that they tracked Nolan's phone using the Life 360 app. They were able to get his phone through his friends, and she claims that some texts and messages were deleted. And apparently it was actually specifically in reference to Snapchat. Now, one of the things that authorities are apparently looking for and asking for are unedited photos and videos that were taken on July 4th. Sheriff Ledbetter telling outlet WXXV, right now, I know time is of the essence, but folks want answers 10 minutes ago, and unfortunately, that takes time to get the accurate information. It's going to take a lot of hard work. I think the family deserves the truth, and that's what we're here to provide for them and for the public. The sheriff adding, according to WAPT, I would urge anyone that has information or that was on the island to take down as much information as they can to piece together what happened. I say all that to tell you what happened today. There's a grieving family. They have a lot of questions. They want answers.
Yeah.
What happened today? Major press conference was held in Harlem. You had the family, their attorney, Ben Crump, and Reverend Al Sharpton, all demanding.
Damn, respectfully, that nigga's still alive. God damn. God damn. I wonder how old this dude is. I really wonder how old he is. I know that's off topic, but it's like, he's been alive for so damn long, it seems like.
Their attorney, Ben Crump, and Reverend Al Sharpton, all demanding the same things: transparency, answers, and the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells. So if you've been following this, you know there's been a lot of anticipation to this. We were expecting the family to potentially announce the results of that independent autopsy that was conducted. And again, this is separate from the state's medical examination. So it seems by all accounts, Nolan's body was flown to Washington, D.C. Now, we didn't get the results of that independent autopsy because there was reporting that we may get those today, but we did get something. Maybe not what everyone expected, but Reverend Al Sharpton kicked things off, and he was getting straight to the point.
What we've been told does not make sense. being that there is lack of confidence in the local authorities who have already, in my judgment, seemed to have mishandled where it was going. Because to just immediately, before a week time, saying there was nothing done wrong, when we hear that this young man was engaged in some kind of argument that was on tape, that his cell phone and keys ended up with one of the people that were there on the island and got away.
Now we go to Ben Crump, and he claims the story.
Facts. It's like, if it was a true accident, why would they have his belongings? Answer that, y'all. Come on. I know there's hella stupid people on this planet, but y'all can't be that goddamn stupid. Make it make sense. Come on. How can they have his keys, his wallet, and his cell phone? They come back with that, but not him. And it was an accident. Nigga, they have his shit. There was some foul play. Why would they take back his shit? I have no clue why. I have no clue. But I can't wait to tell my opinion on this shit at the end.
About what happened to Nolan just doesn't match.
The glaring contradictions just jump out at you. The fact that he is there with his friends, and you look at all the videos, it seems to be he's the only black on the island, or maybe one other, but not many. And so, Jared, you have where a young woman he was talking to says that, well, Nolan said he was going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys say that Nolan told them he was going to stay and talk to the young woman. It's a contradiction. They're not saying the same thing. Oh. One of them is telling the truth, one of them is not. And then the fact, Reverend Al, that they have this video of an argument that is going on, and you know, thank God all young people, they have cell phones, and anytime you hear people raising their voice, they start the video. And so you hear on the video Nolan saying, "Give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?" And that becomes even more relevant when you think about the story that they are presenting, that Nolan chose to stay behind. That's what they're saying.
And he also brought up something that makes you stop and think. Nolan's phone.
His phone? He wouldn't take that with him if he's going to stay behind on the island? I mean, we're talking about an 18-year-old kid. What teenager would leave their phone behind?
Exactly. Anybody that believes that this was an actual accident, respectfully, I say this, and Lord, forgive me if I offend anybody right now, but anybody that believes that this is an accident, you are as dumb as rocks. You have no brain cells if you think this is an accident. What teenager leaves his phone? If he was going to stay behind and not leave the group that he came with, why would he leave his phone, his keys, and his wallet? I can't wait to say my opinion at the end of this video.
If they're going to stay on this island, what teenager wouldn't take their phone? And so it's not adding up. It's not adding up at all. The fact, as Reverend Al said, you know, they then take his phone with them. His mother, when she finds out that her baby is missing, they start trying to track the phone. The GPS the phone, they've used Life 360, and they discover that, well, the phone is on land. The phone is on land, but you're saying he went missing on the island. And so it's not adding up.
From there, we heard from Christine, Nolan's mom.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store.
Talked about what happened when she finally got her hands on
Nolan's
that phone.
mom's pretty.
So when we made it home, my sister and I actually went through Nolan's cell phone, particularly Snapchat, because that is so popular with the children. And when we opened it up, there was nothing. There were no saved pictures. There were no snaps from that day. And we did open it before the 24-hour expiration. So we found that very concerning, only because anyone who's ever been around Nolan will tell you at social gatherings, he's
pulling out
taking
his phone.
videos, he's taking pictures, he's even come up to me when I'm getting ready to go to bed, hey Ma, come on, take a picture of me. You know, like that was Nolan. So that's why we feel that things may have been deleted.
And here's one of the biggest questions of all. More than 200 people were reportedly on that island. Boats everywhere. Anyone see anything?
This notion that, well, he drowned, y'all have, I'm sure, seen all the videos out there. I mean, if he's drowning, nobody sees him drown, nobody offers assistance, nobody tries to help him. I mean, obviously, he stands out. He's I
black.
think the only black person I saw when I'm looking at the videos, and if you see him drowning, you mean nobody is going to try to help him? It's not adding up.
You know why nobody saw him, bitch? Because he was black. And I don't mean to make this a racial thing, okay? I love my white people. I love my Mexicans. I love my Asians. I'm not the type of nigga to be, racist or nothing like that. But you gotta use your discernment, all right? You're the only black person on this island, on this remote island, damn near. And keep in mind, y'all, keep in mind how many people are in states, okay? This island, yes, it had over 100 people, 200 people, whatever. But even 200 people is not a lot of people, okay? And most of them are white, okay? So they're going with the whole saying that, oh, he drowned. You're telling me all these white people turned their heads and didn't even see Nolan drowning? They just turned the blind eye? Oh, shit. Y'all let me know what y'all think happened.
It is not adding up. And that's why the family, at their behest, we had an independent autopsy being performed. And we thank Colin Kaepernick for helping to pay for that independent autopsy. And we thank Tyler Perry for helping to pay for the funeral. Because as Reverend Al said, these were just regular parents going about their life. They weren't expecting any of this. And then we're having to try to hire all these experts to be able to go and see if they can retrieve deleted messages. We have to have experts. You'll hear from Attorney Park talk about, where the body was found when it was recovered and how long it took to be recovered.
So despite prior assurances that Crump's team would have the autopsy results as soon as possible, it seems we're still waiting for those. And we're going to keep following this story. We're going to keep seeing what develops, because this is a family that's not going to stop. And I will tell you right now, Neither are we. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you should get your podcasts. You can also check us out on NBC's Peacock as well. If you want to follow me, X, Instagram, my News Nation show, Jesse Weber Live, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, chat. Yeah. Time for my opinion. What I believe happened in this situation is Nolan, was hanging out with some friends. You feel me? They planned on going to this island. At least Nolan did. He planned on going to this island, having a great time. Okay. You guys got to also remember he's a football star athlete. All right. He was really good at sports. This could have been there's so many situations that could have gone down to where, and this is me putting painting a picture and, creating a scenario for you guys. Nolan could have had some previous drama at school with, say, one white guy on the football team, right? He probably messed with this girl or something like that. Because you got to understand, Nolan, he was a straight guy. He probably, and he was a football star athlete. He probably got women very easily. Okay, I would say girls because they're not women yet if they're in high school. Anywho, so hypothetically, he could have got into some drama before this whole trip. One of the white friends is like, it's cool. Weeks later or whatever, hey, we going on this island. Nolan, you should come. What did I say? Hey, Nolan, we going to this island. You should come. It's going to be dope. All types of girls, hella boats, people in bikinis and shit. We going to have some fun. He's like, okay, yeah, that sounds like fun. That sounds great, buddy. Right? They get to the island. All this is, by the way, one of the white boys is definitely plotting, okay? An altercation happens. Fast forward, the altercation happens. You heard them, what they said, in the video. He said, yo, give me back my phone. What the fuck? They were plotting on killing this man, on this boy. They were plotting it. They were taking his valuables. They didn't want no type of, what's the word? Evidence or nothing. Especially how far they were away from home. There wasn't going to be no evidence. And if everybody's white there and maybe racist, right? Maybe. I'm not saying race was even a factor, but say if everyone was on the same page of, hey, we're going to turn the blind eye, just do what you need, do whatever you need to do to them. And then we'll say we don't know what happened. That's how we'll get away with it. That's basically what I believe happened. There was an altercation. They took his valuables. They did whatever. I don't know if they, beat him up. They said that there was no visual, signs of struggle. So what I'm assuming is that multiple people helped drown him, honestly. If I'm being real, I believe multiple people that were there, multiple guys or some that maybe didn't like him, drowned his black ass. Damn, that sounds kind of harsh. But they drowned him, let him float off into sea or whatever, and they went on about their day or evening, whatever. Kept on having fun, and his body ended up washing away. They ended up setting sea and going back home, the white guys. That's what I believe happened. I don't believe at all it was an accident. I believe multiple people are involved in his death, not just one person. I believe an altercation happened, and there was multiple people drowning him. That's what I believe, but who knows? You guys let me know your opinions on what you think happened. Like this video before you go and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the crew. You already know what to do, baby boo shoo. Oh, rest in peace to Nolan Wells. It's a sad situation to see, on the internet right now. all I can say is rest in peace to him, and I pray that his family heals in any kind of way that they can, because I know this has to be harsh. But anywho, I love y'all. I'll see y'all in my next video. Later.